Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you. So today we're going to talk about the facts of MK677, also known as Nutrobal, also known as ibutamorin. Now remember, as I say, I'm not telling you to use these. I'm also not condoning it. I'm just simply giving you the facts up and down on everything that I know about these compounds. Okay, they come with side effects. There's things that you got to consider. I try to discuss these in the videos. So just remember, if you're going to use these, that's on you. I have nothing to do with that. I'm just giving you the information about it. So once again, MK677, it's actually a potent growth hormone secretagogue, which actually mimics the GH stimulating action of ghrelin, and ghrelin is an endogenous hormone. Now, it's categorized with SARMs, it's grouped with SARMs, but as I just pointed out to you, it's technically not a SARM, okay? It's actually been studied over the past decade, and actually longer than that, for treatment of low levels of IGF-1. I've actually got studies that I can point you to that date back actually into like 97, 98, 99 that have been done on this. They've been studying this a very long time. And it's also been studied and implemented for growth hormone deficiencies in children and elderly adults. Now, it has the advantage of being safer and less expensive than HGH does, so that's one thing in its corner. Now, nowadays, especially athletes have really utilized this really potent compound as a performance enhancer to improve their endurance, to help with fat loss, and to gain muscle mass. So as a result of this, due to the great amount of, fake and underdosed HGH that's circulating around the market, Nutrobal itself has become more popular, something people turn to. A lot of people don't like to inject human growth hormone, so they go this route as well. How does it work? Well, it works by increasing the release of several hormones in the body, and that would include growth hormone and IGF-1. Now, it does all of this without affecting cortisol levels as well, so that's one thing on the plus side for it. The increase in IGF-1 and growth hormone comes with a host of benefits, which I'm going to talk about, in this video as well. And it also helps to fight obesity by altering the metabolism of body fat. Now, let's talk about some studies and medical uses. Now, studies out there have shown that it will increase muscle mass and bone mineral density, and it also inhibits body fat buildup, which studies showing that those who gained lean body mass did not experience any, visceral adipose tissue growth. And subjects that were put in a calorie deficit still managed to add lean muscle. So, these make it why people generally tend to use it, because of these types of benefits. It will cause a rise in IGF-1, as I pointed out, and growth hormone, even in a diet-induced nitrogen wasting state. So this means that even without, making any serious effort in the kitchen or the gym, it's almost, impossible to gain muscle mass, or not to gain muscle mass and lose body fat with Nutrobal use. Now, athletes can benefit in several ways from it. They can have fat loss, they can have muscle gain, and they can have, injury healing and bone strengthening. So it's going to aid in endurance, mood, sleep, general health. So Nutrobal gives athletes all the benefits of growth hormone and IGF-1 increase without, having that high cost and the need to inject. Now, depending on the athlete's needs, Nutrobal can be used for basically, like I said, endurance, fat loss, mass gain, overall health. So it's got a lot of options there. Now, let's talk about side effects. It has less side effects than growth hormone, so that's something to keep in mind, but it does have side effects. One of the first ones you're going to notice is a huge increase in appetite, which can, I know that I talk about fat loss because it does, and long-term studies show that, but that huge appetite increase, which can last for a month, if not more, it can be really detrimental to you, okay? You will find yourself eating like you've never eaten before. I've seen people that tell me that they're up at all hours of the night eating and they can't control it. They have weird cravings for carbs, fats. Water retention is another thing that you have to be very, 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 very wary of. Now, one of the things you can try to do to combat this is controlling your sodium and potassium. Your potassium has got to be at 4,700 milligrams per day, and your sodium does not want to exceed 2,300 milligrams a day. But keep in mind, you could still have water retention with this, all right? And it could last for a month, if not longer. And that can increase blood pressure, and that can be a problem for people, all right? So you've got to be aware of that, because it's something that if you don't control it or if it gets out of hand, it can cause you a lot of problems. And Nutrobal is infamous for this. Absolutely infamous for it. And I hate water retention. All right, it's one of the reasons why I don't often use it or never really have used it much because of that. So that's something that you've got to be aware of. Now, there are studies out there that show Nutrobal will keep your cortisol and prolactin inhibited even while increasing your HGH and IGF-1 levels. That's a major advantage to a user. But I've seen some people that still have complained that their prolactin rose a little bit on this. So I don't know if they had something fake, if their body didn't respond well to it or what. But I'm telling you right now, it's something that you've got to keep an eye on. Even though on paper it's not supposed to do that, it's a possibility. All right, because I've seen it. I've seen it happen. I've seen people report it. So you've got to be aware of that and stay on top of these things. You just because things are a certain way doesn't mean that you still shouldn't be monitoring them and making sure that you're not, having a different reaction than other people or a different reaction than most people are supposed to have. Because I've seen this too many times where it's like that anything is possible. There's talks about being hypoglycemic and blood sugar issues with this as well. That's something that's very debatable. I would actually have to do another video on that, but I've seen plenty of people complain about that. If you're diabetic especially, I would stay away from it. I wouldn't even go near it. Some people might say, oh, well, da-da-da-da. Look, I'm one of those people that I say if there's even a chance, if there's any sort of possibility, you just don't do it. Just don't do it. So I would have to say, no, don't even think about it. Don't consider it. There's, like I said, it's a debatable topic on what it can cause and cannot cause in terms of that. I'm telling you, if you're asking me, just don't do it. Just don't even risk it. Don't even mess with it. Well, so-and-so said this or this. I don't care. I really don't care what anybody said or did or what it says. I say just don't do it. Like I said, that's your call. Everybody makes their own decisions, but that's just what I say. So that's Nutrobal MK677 for you. Just wanted to give you all the facts on it, from the best perspective I could give it. So www.icearms.com/forums. You can get me with all questions and comments. I'm also on the Evolutionary Forum as well as the Elite Fitness Forum. Dylan@icearms.com is my email address. You can get me there as well and read my descriptions, social media links, learn about the video, etc. You definitely want to read all the descriptions. So that being said, stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli, signing off.